I want to say thank you to everyone from the Rotary Club for having me and allowing me to share my experiences with Habitat for Humanity and hope that I could inspire some of you to become involved with our mission. I want to share with you today 2 astounding statistics that compel me to continue my work with Habitat. The second I will talk about later, but the first is that in North America there are almost 50 million people right now living in poverty. That's far more than the entire population of Canada that as we sit here today are unable or struggling to afford suitable living conditions for themselves or for their families. These people that fall into the unfortunate statistic that I share with you today are people that have suffered from natural disasters like tornadoes, flash flooding, and hurricanes, and are unable to get back to their normalcy. They are families that are not able to afford life in a safe neighborhood. They are families that choose every month between electricity and food. As you may already know, Habitat works by enabling these people to a better life, providing safe and affordable living. What you may not know is how Habitat ensures that their future homeowners have the tools needed in order to keep their heads above water and lead successful lives. As a future homeowner, one needs to commit to a minimum of 500 hours of sweat equity by contributing to the labor of their own home or homes alike. They will also participate in financial and budgeting workshops where they will obtain the skills they need to plan for the future, allowing them to thrive in their new home. Through its programs, Habitat has helped build or restore over 600,000 homes to help over 3 million people obtain suitable living conditions. And yet, there are still many families that need to be reached. Families whose poverty narrative is one you hear all too often, not only in our hometowns, but in much of North America. That's why it is so important that as a member of Habitat, I come to speak with people such as yourselves and inform you how to become active in the rehabilitation of our community. I'm going to play a short video of my latest trip to Alabama that happened in February 2014. So 2 minutes long, and it just shows a little bit of what we do. I don't think our volume's going to work, but at least you get the visual. This is the house that we worked on in Alabama. The neighborhood that we were in was completely torn down by a tornado in 2004, I believe, or 2007, and none of the homes, almost none of them, had been rebuilt. The only ones on that street were ones that Habitat had rehabilitated or rebuilt completely from the ground up. This is Mark. He's one of the other people that I went down with. This is the trip I was on. And he's just explaining how the opportunity came up for him. We'll just stop it there. For him to build in Alabama and try to rehabilitate the community 2,000 miles away. So I first became a member of Habitat over 2 years ago, when a close friend of mine offered me an executive position on the St. Mary's Division of Habitat for Humanity. I was reluctant at first to offer up so much of my time with weekly meetings and fundraisers that would end in a week-long build in Florida. What initially sounded like working for free suddenly became something that I would never take back. My experience in Alabama was worth more to me than any of the time I had spent preparing for it. The trip could seem at first like a working vacation, waking up early one day to learn how to install shelving and door frames, only to wake up the next morning and find myself on a roof learning to nail strips of tar in the hot sun, skills that I am proud to say I have. Our group of 40 would leave work for dinner and drinks, for a beach barbecue, or sometimes we would just stay up all night at the volunteer center, crammed into the small living room, looking for access to the Wi-Fi. But what started out as a working vacation turned into something more the day I met the Holman family at the dedication of their new house. The house that we had been pouring our hard work into without much thought of the worth that it held. When Miss Holman, the mother of 2 girls, stood in front of all of us accepting the keys to her new home, I think everyone truly grasped the meaning behind what they'd done at the sight of the most grateful smile under her tear-stained eyes. I have never seen such raw gratitude in my entire life, and that memory lives in me every day, telling me how blessed I am to be able to ignite that emotion in another human being simply by just giving them my time. People say time can be money, but I know it can be something else. Time can be happiness, it can be a home, it can even be a new beginning. This leads me to the second statistic that I wanted to share with you, that 47% of Canadians spent their time last year volunteering. That tells me that the odds are a good number of you here today have already dedicated a part of your life to something amazing. But it also tells me that there are more than half of us here who know someone who remains unsure of the decision to become active in a volunteering community. But that's okay. I'm not here to sign anyone up to build a house in the middle of Alabama. I am only here in hopes that you might consider reaching out for more information on how you can help, and maybe that me coming here today would spark something inside of you that I saw in myself when I became a member of Habitat 2 years ago. While your reason for supporting Habitat might be different than mine, the difference that we can make is the same. Whether signing up for a build or donating money, advocating the cause, or even by simply sharing with your friends and family what I've shared with you today, it could change a life, including your own. For different ways you can contribute, please feel free to see me after for more information and for contact information of local Habitat affiliates. Thank you.